You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. We all know LSU there on the defensive side of the ball. It's been a struggle. Wanted to welcome our buddy Christian LaCouture onto the show because he's got a lot of perspective that sort of mirrors what this LSU team is going through, and wanted to have him on today. Christian, we appreciate you as always, man. How are you?
Good, man. What's going on, my man?
Well, I think everybody's just sort of chopping through what happened on Saturday night and trying to get a handle on what happened and how they try to improve it. Specifically want to talk to you today because you have a lot of experiences during your time at LSU that have some similarities to what's happening right now. Let me start with your freshman season. 2013 was a year where LSU had an elite-level offense and a defense that, quite honestly, just wasn't as good. You played in every game as a freshman back in 2013. What is that like, Christian, where the offense is so good but the defense is struggling? Take me into the locker room, the team meetings. What is that like? What are they going through right now?
Well, obviously, like you said, Matt, it's very frustrating. Obviously you see on the other side of the ball, like we saw in 2013, having a really great offense, and you're just trying to match that. And, you go back in the film room, you're watching tape, and you're trying to get better at practice one day at a time. And, just trying to get that effort to try to match that offense. And, like you said, we had it very similar in 2013. And, it is frustrating because you see, a lot of excellence on that side of the ball, and you're just trying to match it. So you just try to go to work every day, man, and practice. And you're going against a great offense. That's a great thing. Just looking at it from a positive side, Matt, is you're going against somebody in practice every day that is, going to be one of the best offenses in the league. And, if you can go against them, and, you can do it on the field on Saturday. So we kind of looked at that as a positive my freshman year, and really tried to make sure that we brought our best every day to practice.
And when you watch this defense right now, Christian, what do you see that seems to be going so wrong?
Man, you know me, Matt. I always watch Lion play. That's how I watch games, man. But just watching the game last week or on Saturday, obviously up tempo is a huge thing. We've known that with Lane Kiffin for many years, and he's going to try to make defenses tired. That's his thing. He's always done that. When I was at LSU playing and then coaching, he's known for that. That's what he's known for. Technique is always a big thing. Coach Pete Jenkins is coming back. That's going to be a huge thing. I know that very well. He's a master of technique. Technique's a big thing. Having hand placement and being able to get off block. Just even though you got the B gap, it's okay to cross over into the A gap if he's committed to that gap, and just being able to play your gap and own it and do stuff like that. And for me, that's kind of the biggest thing is just attention to detail on that point, and tackling obviously was a big thing. And Matt, this in SEC play, you can't just have one guy at the ball. We all got to be running to the ball and making sure that you got 2, 3, 4 guys trying to bring these guys down and getting back up. And what's the play? Because you got an up-tempo offense. So obviously tackling was a big thing, and I think Coach Kelly talked about that. I saw that earlier. Technique and just being able to match the up-tempo, like I was talking about earlier. So I think those are some of the big things I saw.
I want to talk a little more about Coach Pete because so you were injured in 2016 when, of course, Ed became the interim coach and immediately brought Coach Pete in, and then Coach Pete was on staff in 2017, the year you came back. What's it like playing for Pete Jenkins?
Matt, I could say that was my best year at LSU is when I had Coach Pete and Coach O, and there was a lot of things and a lot of reasons why, and I think that's why I'm really excited that Coach Pete is back. Man, he is a master of technique. You have to know what kind of blocks you were getting every play. He's going to make sure you know that. Whether it's going to be an outside zone, you know exactly what block you get. Inside zone, you know what you're going to get. Whether it's a combo, he's going to make sure you know that just based off those guys' first couple steps on the offensive line. Hand placement is huge. He always talks about having great hand placement. Inside hands are always going to win. I know that. I mean, I can still hear him saying it to this day. So I know that's always been a big thing with him. And playing with a base, In SEC play, you're going against big guys, and you're going to get those combo blocks. You're going to get guys banging off you, working up to the next level. You got to make sure you're playing with a base. If not, you're going to get bumped out of your gap, and they're going to take off, and they're going to try to exploit that. And then, another thing for him, he always made sure that we knew playing primary and secondary gaps, owning your primary gap. And when you had that man locked out and you saw that running back commit, it's okay to cross over and come in and make that play. So that was always a big thing, playing primary and secondary gaps, not just playing, stuck in one gap, being able to cross over and make the play and help the defense out.
Is it, Christian LaCouture is our guest. Christian, is it realistic to think, though, that Coach Pete coming in, 4 games into the year, that there can be an immediate impact, or is this stuff that takes time to develop?
Well, obviously it's going to take time, Matt, but, I think Coach Pete, he's going to have a great group to work with. He's got a lot of talent on that line, and you got guys there that are hungry and obviously, upset about the loss this past weekend, and they're going to be motivated to work, and I think that's the best kind of combo to have. You're going to have a lot of talent there that's really hungry and wants to get better, and I think that's the exciting thing, and having the knowledge of Coach Pete and what he can do. I saw it firsthand, and I know a lot of my buddies saw it firsthand of how much attention to detail they are going to get every single day. He's a master of his craft, man. He makes sure that the guys know what kind of blocks they're going to get every day. Having a rush plan, knowing what kind of blocks you're going to get from these offensive linemen on third down and not just first down, third down, Matt, and how are you going to beat those blocks? His biggest thing is just having a plan in the run game and the pass game, and that really excites me for those guys because I know they're going to be ready. When it comes on game day, it's really exciting to see.
Christian, the other thing too is, I think about this, all the voices that these defensive linemen have heard since spring. So you start spring, and Jamar Cain is the defensive line coach. Middle of spring, he takes the job with the Broncos. Gerald Chapman becomes the interim defensive line coach. Then they hire Jimmy Lindsey. And unfortunately, Jimmy Lindsey has a medical episode, and then they move John Jancic to coach defensive line. And now you're bringing in Coach Pete. So that's 5 different voices since spring started. How make sense of that for me? Like, how does that impact defensive linemen when you have that many different voices since spring?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's not ideal, Matt. You really usually don't like seeing that because I think a lot of times a lot of defensive line coaches try to bring their persona and know kind of, hey, this is kind of their thing of what they do, and obviously everybody's a little different. So you got to adapt and adjust, Matt. When you go in, you got to learn quickly, and obviously Coach Pete coming in the season, you got to move a little bit quicker than spring. But, I think the thing is you got to take time and do the extra, whether it's coming in before practice, whether it's staying after practice and watching film with him or before practice. You got to get as much time as you can before that game starts because, like you're saying, you had a lot of coaching changes, over since spring ball, but you got to move quick. You got 4 or 5, 5 days until the next game. How are we going to make sure we get as much info and a quick basis as you can? You got to kind of go above and beyond to make sure you're getting all that info from Coach Pete because I'm telling you, it will pay off because he's such a great mentor.
Hey, I want to ask you about Maason Smith. You recruited him.
Yep.
And we all know how physically outstanding he is.
Yeah.
But there's been a struggle there, and I'm curious too because you did this. You came off a torn ACL and came back and played that position, and he's doing that now. Yeah. At what point did you feel, quote unquote, normal again?
Yeah. Well, man, I think that's a very serious injury. To be honest, during my senior year, I mean, I would have to, I could still feel it at times. I knew it was fine. We had the best, training staff in the world, so they had us ready every day for practice or a game. But that is a very serious injury. It's a ligament, and it's something that you got to make sure is fine. And he's a big guy, and that's something that obviously you got to watch and make sure. But the thing I'm most excited about with Maason is he's going to get, as freakily talented as he is, he's going to get one of the best, if not the best, defensive line coach that has ever coached. So being able to play under pads and being able to have great hand placement and having a rush plan, having Coach P in his corner, I think is going to be the best thing he's ever had. So I'm really excited for him.
Christian, when when you watch some of the struggles Maason's had this year, what do you see? What do you think is the primary issue there right now? And is it fixable?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely fixable. I think for him, it's just, coming to practice every day and continuing to working hard like I know he is. I know him very well, and I know his family, and I know he's a hard worker, and he busts his tail. I know he's busting his tail every day. I mean, he came back this quick off an ACL. It's no coincidence. He's a hard worker. So, the big thing is he's a big body, like you were saying, Matt. Just being able to play on the pads, and Coach Pete's got, he's got every drill for that. So, again, having Coach Pete in his corner is going to be big, and hand placement. Again, he's got very big, very long arms, and he's strong. Just being at the point of attack, playing with inside hands. We always talk about when I was there, inside hands will always win. And I think him using that and playing on people's pads, like we just talked about, he's freakily, talented and gifted. He does those two things. I think he'll be able to create a new line of scrimmage, no doubt.
Christian LaCouture, former Tiger, number 18, working with our friends over at Mockler now, doing awesome things. Down in the Bayou, huh, man?
Down on the Bayou, man, down in Houma. So it's going good, man. We still working and getting after it. So, Matt, we appreciate you and what you've done and supporting us. And it's been a pleasure, man, working with you, seriously.
Hey, you're the man. I always appreciate when we get a few minutes to visit. Hopefully we'll have you in studio soon if you can wiggle free.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, and cheers, man.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.